Hi friends and fellow earth angels, it's Gladys and welcome back to my weekly Sunday card reading, and this spread will cover April 21st to the 27th. So happy Sunday, happy Easter to those who are celebrating, and today I am going to bring forth messages of love from all aspects of the divine. So today I'm going to be starting with loving words from Jesus. And then I am going to tap into the essence of Mother Mary, Queen of the Angels. And then my Love and Light deck. And this is the deck that I use to connect with Creator, God, Source, whatever that is to you. And then I'm also going to pull from my Talking to Heaven deck. So this is a holiday for some people, and around this time it can be kind of a challenge to be without your loved ones who have crossed over. So I'm going to tap into the essence of that deck and maybe get a message of love for you from your loved ones. And then I'm going to finish up with my Angel Prayer deck. So let's begin. Let me start by inviting in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, Source, Creator of the universe, and all his holy beings of light who would like to assist with his guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come forth be for all of our best and highest good, and the best and highest good of all concerned. So messages of love. Jesus, what would you like us to know on this day, this very special day of rebirth and ascension, awakening, transformation, transition, all aspects, and then supporting us for the week to come. Let's see here. Let me see. Jesus, what would you like us to know? Okay, so let me just pull the first top card. Seek and you shall find. It's a beautiful picture here. So what I'm getting from this card right away is maybe some of you who have been, this message is for maybe some of you who have been searching. Maybe you feel like you're missing something. Maybe you feel like God forgot you. Maybe you feel that that which you desire isn't coming forth. And I feel like this card is saying seek and you shall find, meaning seek in that divine power, that higher love, that divine will, that divine power, that divine love. And as you turn your attention upward, I feel like that is where you shall find whatever it is that will fill your soul. They say that the closer to God you are, the more things make sense and the more you understand. So on this journey, I admit that I've been a doubter. I was a doubter. Even doing this work, I would doubt and I would be willy-nilly in my faith. And it's only been this last 6 months that I've really surrendered and leaned into the power of all that is to guide me and provide for me and keep me safe and protected. And in that, I feel like I have this grounded stability that I've never experienced before. And I have to say, I was seeking peace. I was seeking connection. I was seeking knowledge and wisdom, but I was looking at external things to fill me. Maybe books, maybe people, maybe food, all these aspects. And I feel like this card is coming in right away and saying, seek God and you shall find whatever it is. It's interesting, the it's Matthew 7:7. And the 7 spiritually is a congratulations from the universe. So as I say that, I also see or feel that one of the messages too for some of you is that God also wants to give you a congratulations for the work that you've done up until this point and how you've trusted and how your faith has strengthened. And I feel like that energy also wants to give you a congratulations. So sometimes, when we're in that space of doing an action and learning and growing and evolving, sometimes after the fact, we need to take a break or take pause. So I also feel like this is another message for some of you that may be in this space that you need to hear God to say, I'm proud of you and congratulations, and keep trusting me that you're on your way, that I'm here with you. Beautiful. So let's call on Mother Mary. Beautiful, nurturing energy of support, knowledge, and wisdom. What message do you have for us this Easter day, Mother Mary, and for the week to come? Message of love you have for us. Wow. All right, let's pull this one. I feel like I want to put him in. Keep him here. All right. Health. And her message says, my prayers for healing miracles have been heard. My prayers for healing miracles have been heard and answered. Again, on this day, I feel like one of the messages I again want to say is maybe some of you out there are feeling like God forgot you. And when we're in that transitional space and nothing's happening, it's easy to fall into the worries and fears. And I feel like this card, health, is an energy of healthy mind, healthy body, and healthy spirit. And I feel like Mother Mary is coming in to let you know that your prayers have been heard and answered, and healing and support and guidance is coming. You may be in that place of pause and might not be at that place of everything coming into fruition. So I feel like this is saying that your prayers aren't going unnoticed, and God knows. I had done a pick a card reading. Oh no, it was my last Sunday reading, and it was almost to the same effect that God hears you. Sometimes we feel like we're not being heard, and maybe our prayers and what we're asking for is falling on deaf ears. And I think that's part of the strengthening of the faith and being able to surrender into the will of what is, and really letting that energy of acceptance marinate within you. Acceptance that, you may not like where you are right now, but from here, from this place of acceptance, as you surrender into that, things being as they are right now, it opens up energy for you to be able to move forward easily and effortlessly. So again, it's a general reading, so I feel like I'm getting multiple messages. So please, as a reminder, just take in what resonates and don't try to make the other stuff fit. I feel like the collective is separating in a way of moving off in different directions. So I feel like I'm channeling two different energies. So again, please take in what resonates. And this health stuff. So this may be directly for some of you who have had health scares, or maybe you have loved ones who are going through health scares, and I can say with health and death and loss and financial troubles, it really opens up this degree of something more. And a lot of us are in this space of expanding and strengthening our faith and our spirituality. And sometimes these difficulties, if there's something that's in a low vibration that isn't going to support us as we grow in our spirituality, it needs to come up to surface. So if some of you or your loved ones are going through health stuff, know that those challenges are, on a soul level, giving that person or you an opportunity to clear any low vibrational stuff so that you can move forward. It's a really powerful time for prayer right now and for guidance. And I feel like even reaching out for support. I am seeing on social media people going through stuff and reaching out, asking for supports and healings and blessings and prayers and love. So it's warming to see, or comforting to see, people reaching out to their community and that network. So I feel like this is another message that's saying that you're not going through this alone. Seek and you shall find, and I'm here with you, that I have heard your prayers. And sometimes when we're in this space where nothing's happening or we're waiting for things to unfold, I kind of sit and pause and I sit with it. So maybe it's a health problem, or I recently had a pinched nerve in my neck. I think it was a pinched nerve, and it went down to my lower back, and it was really, really painful, and I was really uncomfortable. And so I gave myself an opportunity to just sit with the pain. Instead of fighting it and resisting it, I asked it what message it had for me. And one of the messages was like, who's being a pain in the neck in my life? And honestly, I was being my own pain in the neck, my own impatience. So I couldn't help but laugh. I have this natural pain reliever that I took, and I have to say I feel much better, and it came from a place of me listening to it instead of fighting it, criticizing myself, beating myself up, being ornery. It gave me permission to kind of sit and be in my body and connect with my body and ask it what it needs. So for some of you, that may be too airy-fairy, but I can tell you it works. It really lessens the impact and speeds up the recovery process. So sometimes seeking God and asking Him what you're supposed to be learning in these experiences can help transform this experience tenfold. So let's go into, I think I'm going to do the angel prayer next. I was going to save that for last, but I feel like I want to tap into the essence of the unconditional love energy of angels. All right, angels, what message do you have for us this day, this week? What would you like us to know? Actually, you know what? This one's sticking out, so pull that one. Take time to breathe. If that's not validating my messages that I was just channeling, it says, thank you, angels. I breathe with ease knowing you're here. Look at her arms stretched out. I love cards like that. Her heart chakra is open. She's enjoying the ocean, movement, flow, the breeze, the air. And I feel like this is saying, take time to pause. So if you're in your mental head trying to problem solve, analyze, figure things out, I can't even tell you, one of the greatest lessons I've learned up until this point is I tell myself, ride it out. Ride it out. If I have a bill that's come up and I'm not sure how it's going to get paid, or I have a situation or a challenge or a disagreement with somebody and I'm not sure how to handle it, I'm not sure what to do about it, one of the greatest things I've learned is to pull out of it, lean back, give it up to God and give it up to Jesus. And more often than not, it works itself out. I mean, how many times have our senior citizens said, give it time, it'll work itself out? Or how many times have you heard that? Give it time and it'll work itself out. I feel like that's a big message for a lot of you right now, and myself included. I'm not in this as well. And so sometimes it's like pulling out and taking time to breathe. And as you take pause, what that does is it brings your attention back to the divine, whether you're going outside, whether you're sitting in meditation, whether you're sitting in prayer. There's a lot of people this weekend who have been gathering together in community and churches, connecting with the power of that. I always believe in the power of groups and praying together in large amounts. And it's a really powerful time. Plus, we also have, it's no coincidence, we had this gorgeous full moon on top of it, which is releasing and purging. And so I myself, as a triple moon sign, felt very emotional the last couple days. I have to say, I honestly have allowed tears to come up and out and fears to come up and out. But when they do, and I have to say, it's not really because of anything. It's just, I think I'm just feeling all the feels and giving myself permission not to shame or try to find a reason why, and just allowing it to be what is. And it's in those moments of taking a time to breathe and pausing that I get more clarity and insight. So for some of you who are blasting through stuff and really in your mind and you're getting headaches or you feel stressed, give yourself some time to take a few deep breaths and lean into that higher love, higher power, whatever that is to you, and give it permission to support you. And you'll be amazed how things unfold and how they unwind. Okay, so I want to get a message from your loved one. So maybe there's, and again, this could be a collective of loved ones. So if your parents are transitioned, or maybe you have friends, family members, it doesn't have to be necessarily from one specific person. So this is going to be really good to see how it unfolds, because I feel like this is a message that the collective of loved ones on the other side want to tell you. And maybe it'll feel like it'll directly come from one person, or maybe it'll come from like the collective of your loved ones on the other side. So I'm gonna leave it up to the divine to decipher how the messages are supposed to come out. I feel like I want to pull two, so I'm gonna shuffle it. And okay, so I want to tap into and bring my awareness to your loved ones that are crossed over on the other side, and ask what messages on this holy day, this beautiful Sunday, this Easter day, what messages do they have for you? And I'm going to ask for 2 cards. One, 2. I love how that works. Okay, so the first message, I'm just a thought away. So here's the message, and then here's the picture. This could be even a message for some of you who may have lost a pet, and you're missing them too. So I am just a thought away. I feel like this message is for some of you who feel like your loved ones are so far away. I feel like they're coming forth to let you know that when you think about them, maybe a memory comes up, maybe a smell, maybe you're cooking food and recipes that your loved one would have cooked, or maybe you're gathering together in a way and things are coming up. And I feel like that is them already coming into your vibration, letting you know that they're just a thought away. Your loved ones aren't in some far off land. They didn't pass away and they just really just went nowhere. They want you to know that they're growing and they're thriving and they are loving you on the other side. Some of you may have had dreams about your loved ones. Know that that's a way that they come in. Maybe some of you are getting signs from nature. Maybe it's a bird, maybe it's an animal. It could be a butterfly, dragonfly, a red cardinal, bluebirds. Those are very specific signs. Even hawks. Hawks come from grandparents. Hawks, I find in my experience so far, hawks tend to come in for grandfathers and fathers. Father energy and grandfather energy seems to come to, people I'm connecting for through the hawk energy, and it's like rise above, or they're expanded and their wings are their wings are spread and they're keeping an eye on you. So that could be another sign for some of you specifically out there. But know that when you have a thought that may pop in your mind or a memory that comes up, know that chances are they're already with you in that moment, and maybe they're touching you and triggering that memory. So if you're feeling like your loved ones are so far off, know that sometimes our sadness and grief can make that energy feel farther and farther away. So if you can open up to that space of love, know that they're just a thought away. Let me see here. I just want to look at the book just to see. It is powerful. Let me see. Okay, so the message here says, please don't think of me as quote unquote gone, because I'm not. I'm right here. Please don't think of heaven as up in the sky, because it's not. It's right here. It says, yes, I am happily busy with learning and helping, but I am also happily willing to be right by your side the moment that you need me. So maybe this is a message for some of you who feel like you don't want to call them because you don't want to take them away from something. You don't want to take them away from some higher purpose, or maybe you feel like that you don't want to take them away from another loved one. Maybe you've been sending them to your children or your parents or other family members. Maybe you feel like they need them more than you. Know that Spirit is like the essence of what I can relate it to is like the energy of the sunshine. We have one sun for the entire planet, and the entire planet utilizes the energy of the sun almost all at the same time and in many different ways. So know that your loved ones are now a part of that vibration, that expanded energy, and they can be everywhere, just like the sunshine and the sun rays can. So know that by you asking them for assistance, it's like you're taking one ray of sunshine on top of the bajillions that come at the planet all at once. Okay, so let me see what the other message is. It's not your fault. Okay, so this is a big one too. I feel like we maybe the same message, or we might be skipping into another collective. So it's not your fault. So one of the messages I feel for this one is, if you lost somebody to addiction, accidental overdose, suicide, maybe you had to make a health decision and it didn't work out. This is for some of you who may be feeling guilt or guilty. I could have or should have done more. And I feel like your lover wants you to relieve you of that. There's this card. I'm looking at this card. You have this person here. And off in the distance, there's another person. You can see. There's a reason why this person is in this. Their shoulders are slumped over. There's this sadness. Maybe this energy is you, and your loved one wants to show you that they're there with you out there, and they see that you're sad, that you're grieving, that maybe you're putting that burden on yourself, like I could have done more, I should have done more. And I feel like the universe wants to lift that burden. Remember, we all have the gift of free will, and our life unfolds by the action that we take on a daily basis. Now, I want to speak to the energy of addiction, or even people suddenly passing away. That's another thing. People suddenly passing away from heart problems or aneurysms, instant. I know it's hard to understand, but spiritually there's always a message, there's always guidance, or there's always a reason, although we might not understand right away. And I feel like the divine wants to lift this burden from you, that you should have or could have done more, that you could have seen it, that you could have done more. There is this very unhealthy connection with people who are struggling with addictions. And I'm not just talking about like drugs or alcohol. There are many different kinds of, we could talk about gambling, lots of different types of addictions. And it really is the shadow taking hold. And a lot of times addiction is supposed to teach us discipline. It's supposed to teach us how to persevere and move through. And it does. It really grabs hold. And the best thing that you can do is pray. Now, I know if you've lost somebody who is struggling, who has crossed over, maybe it was a suicide or accidental suicide or overdose, I can tell you without a doubt that they are very close with God. I always see the Archangel Raphael with them, and Raphael helps them to heal. And what's happening too is those who have lost their physical life to some type of addiction or overdose or suicide. And sometimes they can't get out of their own mental space. Maybe they can't get out of their own sadness, their own grief, their own depression. Know that they aren't lost, that their mission on the other side is to work with the collective of rehab facilities, counselors, healers, intuitives, people channeling messages and information so that they can help the planet grow. More often than not, that I've seen these loved ones that have crossed over from accidental overdose, suicide, or even recklessness. I want to include that in as well. Sometimes people have lost their lives due to recklessness, maybe a car accident, maybe a motorcycle accident. Maybe it's not even recklessness from that person, but they were enraptured in it. So know that they are now part of the collective that is working with, again, rehab facilities, counselors, therapists, intuitives, to be able to help those that are still here on the planet heal. So know that their life isn't lost. It's not a lost cause. And I know some of you may think that they may have had more potential or they may have more life to live. And know that on a soul level, it was their choice to go. And how beautiful a soul to transition so that we can learn from that person. A lot of times when souls go in that way, it awakens the divine and the spirit within. It awakens questions within us. And so I feel like the universe maybe wants you to take pause to breathe. Seek them and you shall find them, in essence of signs, and again, being a thought away, and maybe they're coming to you in other forms to let you know that they're still alive and well. As I've channeled that, let me again look up read in the book, because there might be more that you need to hear for somebody specifically. It says, please do me a really big favor. Stop beating yourself up, thinking that you caused my death or were in some way responsible for it. It says, you were not, ! It says, it's so hard for my earthly level to understand the spiritual elements of life. No matter what you think you could have done or should have done, I would have left anyway. I am releasing you of any responsibility for my leaving. Please let go of any guilt, and it will make both of us feel better. The universe is perfect in its makeup, and what we think is a coincidence is just God's way of remaining autonomous. Trust me. Be kind to yourself, knowing that what I share with you is true. Ooh, it's just kind of a reiteration of the energy that I was channeling. So I know this kind of got a little bit of heavy, but I have to say, I think it's important, this type of energy and this type of, Easter, and we think about death and new beginnings and the resurrection, and we think about transformation and seeds growing, something old coming into something new. Ask God to show you truth. Ask God to show you how you can transform this pain into power, how you can use the guidance, or how can you use the experience of what you've learned and transform it into something better. Maybe you can help somebody with it. Talk to your loved ones. Know that they are alive and well. I can feel their love channeling through me, filling my heart up to expand out to you. So maybe you hadn't lost a loved one to something tragic, and maybe the experience of losing them was tragic to you. Sometimes when you're caring for parents and that's been your role, that can be hard, and we can feel that. We can feel lost. Like, what do I do now? My whole life was taking care of this person. Know that they're not gone, and they want you to live. They want you to shine your light. They want you to grow and expand and really be a beacon of light here on this planet. So give yourself permission to grieve and cry it out, and know that it's a normal part of the process, but also seek God, knowing that He can assist you on your journey to transform that pain into power. All right, so let me finish up with a message from Creator, God, Source, Creator. All right, God, what is the most important thing you want us to know this day and this week? What message do you have for us to finish up this reading? Oh, we do have one. Good. It says, reflect God's compassion. Yeah, this is beautiful. It just got really windy outside. So the message says, be kind to each other, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, just as God through Christ has forgiven you. Wow. I cannot think of another better message. Again, be kind to each other, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, just as God through Christ has forgiven you. Beautiful. Reflect in God's compassion. One of the messages that I keep feeling like I keep repeating, and I think maybe I need to hear it and you need to hear it as well, is that sometimes when we're wronged, or sometimes when we're triggered by somebody or something, it's easy just to kind of like attack or go on the defense. And I feel like as we hear is rest in God's compassion, asking ourselves, maybe there is a reason that that person's the way they are. Maybe there is a reason why they're acting that way. Now, this does not mean not to set your own boundaries. It doesn't mean that you can't say no. It doesn't mean that you have to enable and cave into sometimes the greatest way to help somebody is to set a strong boundary, to walk away from the situation. In that way, you become a teacher. Maybe this week making a commitment to smile more, soften your heart, and maybe be an observer. Maybe this is a message as we reflect God's compassion, the reflecting here. It almost feels like maybe as we're sitting in this space, connecting with God and breathing, opening up to the mindfulness of the present moment, maybe God will show you his compassion this week. Maybe you'll see it reflected back upon you. This does not mean, if you've made some major changes and you've gotten away from people who have been very mean or difficult or challenging to you, this doesn't mean go back. It doesn't mean have compassion for, to go back to fix them, save them, change them, and make them better. Sometimes the best thing you can do is pull back, pull out of the situation, and pray to God that the situation falls where it may. And know that by you pulling out of that, you have an opportunity to fill your own self with love. And it will give you the ability to comfort, support, teach, and inspire others in a different way. And so maybe this week, God is saying that he's going to reflect back his compassion to you. Maybe it'll be through a movie. Maybe it will be through a meeting of people on the road. Or maybe you'll be in a supermarket. Or maybe you'll be out and about and you'll see God's compassion coming back. And we say this all the time is, when people are struggling with addictions, or they're struggling with anger, or they're struggling with bitterness, it's because it goes with a deeper pain and unmet needs. If we can have compassion for them, and sometimes it's all about just sending them love from a distance can really help uplift them. And it's in those moments of darkness, it's in those moments of solitude and feeling lonely that they're guided back to that essence of this higher power. They might be guided to a mentor or teacher, but by you pulling out of that situation, it gives the opportunity for the divine to come in. Yeah, that's such a beautiful message. My heart just wants to lean into that. Be kind to each other. Especially, so maybe if I'm going to post this like early in the morning. So maybe if you're watching this, because I am channeling it on Saturday evening. So if you're watching this before you're going with family, if you're watching this and you're anticipating, family drama and stuff, I feel like send armies of angels ahead, send Archangel Raphael to clear the energy and ask them to show you, and be the observer as you go and pull out from any family dramas, or even pull out from the craziness and the hectic, and just give yourself an opportunity to observe and really ask God to reflect back to you His compassion, His magic, His power, so that you can be filled with that love. If you're watching this and it's Sunday night and you've already had maybe family time, or you've really gotten through your day, maybe you can ask God to show you, like, reflect upon the day, and maybe you can find instances in where you felt and saw God's love and His compassion coming through, and that can be your guidance and your leader as you move into the week. We're moving into powerful times, friends. We're here to reintegrate the energy of true love back on the planet, and that true love really starts with us first, the love of ourselves, opening up to the divine, filling that energy, filling up with that energy to overflowing. And then in that, we become a magnet for all things good and powerful and transformative. This doesn't mean we'll have a perfect life and nothing bad will ever happen. It's part of life, and experiencing those levels of pain and difficulty and challenges that gives us an opportunity to grow. So I think a lot of us are on the tail end of that, and abundance and power and good fortune is really on the horizon. All we have to do is step into it and believe in the power of God's divine will. All right, so I am going to end it on that note. That was a long one. I can't thank you enough for watching. Let me close space by thanking all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God, source, creator of the universe, and all His holy beings of light that assisted. And of course, your loved ones too. And I'm going to ask that any messages that were, or healing that was started, continue for as long as it needs to be done. Maybe it radiate with you throughout the week and beyond at any point that you're watching this video. So thank you so much. If this reading or these readings are resonating with you, please share it with those that you care about. Send me some hearts. I love the emojis that you're sending me, the hearts, the flowers, all of it. I love all of it. I think it's so cool for new subscribers to come to my channel, and when they look through the comments, all they're seeing is sunshines and flowers and hearts. And know that by doing that, by you doing that and putting those comments, you are sending your love out to all those new people that will be watching, and it's so sacred and so beautiful. Thank you so much to those of you who are sharing my videos on Facebook, who are sharing my posts on Facebook. I can't always see who's sharing it because of the Facebook restrictions. So know that I appreciate it. And I am just one person in this ripple of energy. And so as you do that, as you're inspired to do that, you are then part of that ripple that radiates out. There is billions of people in the world who are struggling and suffering, and by you healing yourself, by you opening up to this expansion of higher love, whatever it is to you, you are playing a role in the collective and changing vibrations and energies and the ancestry for generations to come. So know that the work that you're doing, the healing that you're doing, is way bigger than this lifetime. So I cannot thank you enough for sharing, subscribing, contributing, and being part of this Earth Angel community. So again, thank you. If you haven't heard it today, or nobody's told you, know that you are deeply, deeply loved. I love you. God loves you. Trust in the divine. Trust your intuition. And I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.